Hi everyone, it's Jay from Mitosu Crafts and welcome to the Global Stampin Video Hub with the theme of Slimline. So today I'll be creating a Gatefold Slimline, 3.5 by 8.5 inches, featuring the Pretty Florals bundle and the Florals in Bloom DSP. So you have the stamp set and the dies. I've also got the With You in Mind for my sentiment. So this is the design that I'll be using. So if you don't have this paper, you can use double-sided paper that you like both sides of, because you'll be showing off both sides. I've got Secret Sea and Cloud Cover, basic white for stamping the sentiment, which I'll do now. And I've gone ahead and pre-die cut myself 3 of these in basic white. Summer Splash, 3 of those leafings, and Peach Pie for those. So I'll stamp the sentiment, the thank you, in Secret Sea. And then I'll go through the measurements. I will be using I'll be working in inches, but I do have the measurements for imperial as well, metric even. So that's all the stamping that we'll be doing. Fussy cut that with the snips, which I have done, and I've added dimensionals on there ready for later. So I wanted to just quickly show you this because it does stack together. Just add glue to the center part, and I line up the curvy edge to the curve on the side here, as well as the pointed bottom along the bottom edge there, and that tends to work out quite well. So the rest of the points matches at the end of at the edge of that. The die cut. So I've done 3 of those. Now I did add the leafings behind these, but it's actually better to add the leaves when you're constructing the card. But I thought that will just make it easier, so I'll do that with these. So measurements, what have we got? For the cloud cover, 8.25 by 1 3/4, scored at 2 inches on the one side, and that is 21 centimeter by 4.5, scored at 5 centimeters. We got Secret Sea at 3.5 inch by 11 inches, scored at 8.5 inches. So if you score it, line up the long edge on your paper trimmer and score it at 8.5, or that is 9 centimeter by 28 centimeters, scored on the long edge at 21.5 centimeters. So you will have that bone folder. Just burnish those folds. So the cloud cover is for the belly band. So DSP, you do need kind of like a big DSP because it's going to be a gatefold. So if you have a directional DSP, just make sure it's that way, because it's going to be, the slimline is actually going to be that tall, portrait mode. So we're going to cut at 8.25, so on the side. So again, directional there, 8.25, or that is 21 centimeters. No, 20.5 centimeters. So 8.25. And then we are gonna cut that at 6.5 inches, or that is 16 centimeters. So you have basically 6.5 by 8.25, or that's 16 centimeters by 20.5 centimeters. We're going to score on one side at 1/5/8 of an inch, or 4 centimeters. You can flip it and then score the same, or what I did find that I was just slightly over, so what you could do is fold and burnish this one, and then just match in the middle to make sure that that meets to get your gatefold, and use your bone folder. Flying bone folder. So you can either score and then fold and burnish, or just use that midpoint so you know that it's gonna be meeting in the middle. It doesn't matter if it does slightly overlap, but that is now our Gatefold Slimline. We will need some more DSP. I'm just gonna be using the offcut from the base. So for this one, we need 3.5 by 2.25, two of those, so 3.25. I'm keeping the direction the same, so 3.25, two of those, or that is 8 centimeters. And then I'm gonna cut 2.25, or that is 5.5 centimeters. So that one we'll use, that one we'll use, and then do the same for this one, 2.25, or 5.5 centimeters. So which is pretty much the same as this one. Right. You do have a bit of offcuts from the 12 by 12 DSP, which you can get another card layer there, sentiment piece, and big bit for more projects. So we have got that, and this one. So you want your fold at the base. I'm just going to add this on there with a bit of border. So use your favorite adhesive. It is a shame that this is getting covered, but you can still see it from the front. So nice border around. Just make sure I can see the edge of that. So the Imperial has got an 1/8 of an inch border around. The metric will have a 5mm border around, so it's slightly wider border for the metric. Can just burnish that. And then we are going to add, what are we adding? This one, yeah, along the base. Ooh. Again, just having a nice border around, and we'll repeat that on the other side. So as I mentioned, this is part of the Global Stampin' Video Hub. If you'd love more inspiration using with slimline cards, do check out the description below for the next video in the hub. And you could also find the product list, which I've used today, available from our online shop if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Belgium, or Ireland. So now we have got that. We're just gonna decorate the inside. So I'm just gonna do 3, and I'm eyeballing where I want the centerpiece. Add glue to the leafings. Of course, you don't want the die cut to go over that score line, so I'm just gonna do that. Make sure it's before the score line, and you don't want it on dimensional, just so it closes okay. I'm just gonna add glue in the middle, and I'll just stand up to see. That's kind of like central. And then the other 2, which I've pre-done. So do the same way if you stick the leafings first, so you know it's not over the score line. But I use my prototype as a template. So, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna add some sequins. What's this? Loose gold sequins. So how did I do it? So just a couple of dots of mini what's it called? Tombow. Multi-purpose liquid glue. You can use any embellishments you want, but there's quite a few of these, so I'm just using these up. And then take your big tool, which is the putty. So let us pick some big ones. And there we go. Where else? There's 3 different sizes. Small will go on top. And another one. Is there one there? There's a medium one as well. There we go. And more medium. Small one. Ooh, stay. And finally, at the bottom there. We'll use that again for the outside, but that is pretty much it. It will stand up so long as you don't nick that base there, like that. And it's gonna close like that. So we need the belly band, which is the cloud cover. So to do this, we've already done a score line on one side. So slightly put it like out, slide it over to the left, and then pinch the right hand side, just so you know that it's gonna go in. And then we're gonna stick down the back. So one line of glue on the end there and one line on the glue. one line of glue at the other end, and then stick that down before it adheres. And see, you can try it out. If it doesn't move, then just slightly make it slightly wider. Hopefully that will work now. Yeah, that seems to be okay. And now to decorate, I'm just gonna add my other DSP. Use a bone folder just to clean up the edge. There we go, and that should have a nice border as well. Slightly wider on the side because we've taken it out slightly so it fits around the card. So you can go as far up as that, and then we're gonna add our, oh, you're stuck. Sentiment. Use any sentiment that you have. And again, these have got dimensionals on there. Should I do it skew if? And then finish up with some more embellishments. And that's a medium. Large and small. And there we go. That is my slimline gatefold card idea. So it'll fit, it should fit a DL card envelope even. And then when they open it up like that, they can slot this back in when it's displayed, he says. So it's displayed like that. It'll stand by itself, hopefully, like so. And you have space at the back for your message. If you are using a dark card base, then do add another basic white layer. But yeah, that should be all okay. Or use a gel pen to write your message. It does lift slightly on top because of the sequins and the die cuts, but I've done another one using the wildly flowering, which is still available. The DSP is still available. So we have Moody Mauve, and again, it's just using one sheet of 12 by 12 and then with offcuts. This is from Wonderful Thoughts, the sentiment with the coordinating die, and the inside is pretty much the same. So I just used the colors in the DSP. So we have Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Crumb Cake on there. But there you go. I hope you try it out and share your project on social media and tag us at Mitosu Crafts. Again, don't forget to check the description below for the next video in the hop. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time, bye!